Well, listen, British broadcaster Sky Sports, they are now shutting down the sports-focused TikTok channel that they just created for women. They say it was meant to amplify female perspectives, but it faced pretty heavy criticism for being patronizing and even sexist. So in a statement, they acknowledged they didn't get it right. So what did the British broadcaster get so wrong here? What do you think, Arthur?
First of all, the first thing they got wrong was the idea that women are not watching sports before. Women have been watching sports, you are just not paying attention to them as a broadcaster. So you don't need to change anything in terms of your delivery because the women who are enjoying sports were already watching it.
Great
and the
point.
people who love the sports will watch it the same way the men who love sports watch it. They'll enjoy the same content. They will talk the stats. They'll be as delusional as any fan base. You don't need to be condescending or patronizing to get more women, because there's only two kinds of sports watchers. People who love sports and people whose loved one watch sports. And people always assume that second group is women, which yes, maybe that's the bigger number. But there's also plenty of men who just watch sports because their girlfriend or their wife enjoys sports or works in the sports industry. And none of these men are going to be condescended to in the same way to create an app that's pink or any of this stuff to get more viewers. So I think that's what they got wrong.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
Yeah.
You know, so the question is, what did Halo get wrong? And I think judging by the backlash, it seems like everything. But I'm not surprised because, you know, a lot of times I've been in the room where we're trying to come up with a project. I'm talking about in traditional television. And the question is always asked, how do we get that demographic? And the demographic I'm talking about is the younger demographic, the Gen Zs, as we call them. And oftentimes, the person who's asking that question is not at all aligned or has any idea what that generation really is tapped into. They're taking a look at TikTok and they're just kind of guessing, oh, they like apps, they like pink. And to me, when I saw this, I'm like, I don't know the generation of the person who was the executive producer, but something tells me that they are from an older generation because you got it wrong on so many levels. And
but doesn't the arrogance of that, like, just to pause for 1 second, because I'm not even a sporto and this makes me angry. It makes me angry for sports fans, for female sports fans, because it was so condescending. This was branded, okay, think about this. It was launched last Thursday. It was branded as the Lil Sis of Sky Sports. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that. It was scrapped after 48 hours. So it tells you the amount of outrage. You think about the amount of money that was probably spent on launching this, the team of people who were involved in board meetings. Like, how could they get it so wrong?
And you know what's worse about getting it wrong?
It's crazy.
What's worse about getting it wrong today? Listen, lots of people have made mistakes in broadcast, but what's the worst part about getting it wrong today is there's an audience, you'll go viral for the wrong reason. And now, in order to get that audience back, you got to get their trust back, and that could take years. And you know what you don't have in this industry? Years.
That's true.
There are too many other options for them, so it's a double fail.
I know this is a thing that people don't like to talk about anymore because 2020 is come and gone. DEI, I know she's fallen out of favor, but the idea behind diversity and equity and inclusion, the whole idea was not about us, without us. So you want to create a channel for young female fans. I guarantee you there was not yet one young female fan who had a voice in that room with any power. So guess what? You started already, to your point, on the wrong foot, right? So I saw the name of the guy. I'm going to make assumptions. His name is Andy. So I guess Andy, who was leading this Halo channel, you know, you could have brought your daughter in. She would have made maybe some better decisions.
No, but I want to know. I don't want you to just bring in your daughter. I think that's part of the problem. I want an actual woman who knows about sports, who is respected for her opinion,
but
who's been working in the industry.
But let's say she was a sports fan.
Okay.
I think the idea here is you can't be making decisions for an entire group thinking you know better for them what they like. You bring them in and you give them power to make decisions.
Welcome to being
the
black.
other part, well, yes, absolutely.
All the time.
It's true. And I will also say the thing that's condescending about this, besides the whole like, we're going to do a hot girl walk, I'm like, first of all, who is that audience that you think you're talking to? To your point, female sports fans are already female sports fans, but the reason why female sports is exploding right now is not just because women like us are getting behind women, men are also getting behind women's sports. So this channel, my husband says it all the time. He will point out matches, games, whether it's tennis, hockey, soccer, and he's like, this women's match is killing a man's, the men's game. But if this account was going to be trying to bring in fans, guess what? There are men too. So it was condescending against women, but
what
it's
do we
also
think-
condescending
Yeah.
against
But
the
what do we
men.
think about this idea of segregation? Like the idea that there would be even, like let's say it was super successful and women were watching. Do we like this idea of actually having things that cater specifically to men in sports and things that cater specifically to women?
No.
I think that
no,
there's something
because
really
so
wrong.
many people have fought. Like the Serena Williams fought so that women's finals could be played on the same court as the main final, which was
Yeah.
something that
And
wasn't happening
broadcast.
before. It's like, no, the sports fans are watching it regardless of what you're putting around it. Like if I want to watch the final of Wimbledon, men's or women's, I'm going to tune in. I don't need some sort of different font to figure out who's playing.
Yeah,
You know, the name, yeah, I don't need. I don't need to put ribbons on something, so I'm like, oh, the ribbons is when the women are playing. No, I will watch the sport.
You'll
Tennis,
watch it.
But you know who thinks like
basketball,
that?
yeah.
Old men
Fair.
who are out of touch
Fair.
with the younger generation. That's who thinks
Yeah.
like that.